What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. We're focusing on the San Jose Sharks season preview for the 2015-2016 season. San Jose made a few, pretty big acquisitions this summer. Paul Martin, Joel Ward, Martin Jones. I think Jones is the best acquisition out of all of them. Really gives you some, you know, solidifies the crease and gives them, a pretty young goalie if that matter, 25 years old that can play and really help with the team's youth movement. They refused to go full rebuild. After missing the playoffs last year and obviously the year before that in 2014, having that disastrous collapse against LA, you would have figured they, move Thornton and Marlowe and Brent Burns, guys like that. But they're rolling with this nucleus. This is what they want to build around. This is what they think they can win with. And part of it, you want to tip your hat to. The other part of it, I think it's just straight up reckless. But we'll see how that all works out for them in the long run. I mean, they've got a lot of. It's kind of a rebuild on the fly. There's some pretty young and exciting players on this roster and in the organization. I know they sent Timo Meier down yesterday, but he's gonna be a bright part of the future. Obviously, we've seen what Tomas Hertl can do. If he's healthy this season, could he go back to being that that guy we saw as a rookie before the injury? Sure. I'm a Matt Nieto guy. Part of his deal to power play with CJ Shirt, so I got a soft spot for him. But he's a pretty exciting player in his own right. I really thought Goodobin has I think and still believe he's got some real potential to be a pretty interesting top six forward. And then you look at whether it's a Logan Couture, guys that have already established themselves. I know Couture's older than those guys. Those are all prospects. Couture's an established NHL player. But my thing is, in contrast to the older group, having guys that are 25, 26 and younger, I think is a step in the right direction. Everyone talks about how young Joe Pavelski is. Joe Pavelski is 31 years old. He's actually closer in age to Thornton and Marlowe than he is to, the quote-unquote youth movement. But I think can Mirko Mueller bounce back after having an up and down rookie year? I think so. I think he's got pretty interesting skill set. I like their young players. I just wish they were doing more to get them, to get more youth in the lineup. They had a pretty good 10-year run there, whatever it was, and now it's like, all right, now what? And not having a captain, I think is one of those like really moments, and I think Pete DeBoer is going to do a pretty good job with them this year. But I mean, they won't be they won't be in the Austin Matthews, Jacob Chikrin sweepstakes. But it's still like you'd like to see, are they a legitimate contender or are they going full youth movement? They're trying again, like I said, I kind of admire the way they're trying to walk the line, but I don't think it's going to work. I think being middle of the pack is the worst thing you can do in the NHL, and that appears to be what the Sharks are doing with this latest youth movement. So again, plenty of reasons to tune in with the young guys. But even like, what does signing Joel Ward or Paul Martin do for you? Nothing. It doesn't make you closer to being a contender. If they were a team that was right on the cusp, adding those guys is like, oh, that can get us right over the top and help what makes them go from being a good team to a great team. But again, it's just I don't know what the organizational direction is, and we'll see how it all shakes out. I don't see them as a playoff team. I think the West is just that good. And I think the other thing is a lot of bad teams have made improvements. So like Edmonton isn't going to be playing Edmonton isn't like going to the ATM and pulling out points. You go to an ATM and pull out money. You're not just going to pull points out of Edmonton. That's just the way that works. And I think with the improvements of teams around the league, I don't think Arizona will be just as bad. Who are we kidding? But there's going to be a lot of improvements. A lot of teams that used to suck are going to be a lot better, and it's not going to be as easy to contend in the Western Conference. And again, like a lot of the teams that missed the playoffs last year, whether it's Dallas or Los Angeles, they're not going anywhere. They're going to be back. They've made improvements. They're better, and I thought they were better than the Sharks to begin with. And the Sharks in Colorado are in that like weird sort of like middle ground. I can't reiterate how bad of a position that's to be in. That's where you don't want to be in the NHL. I mean, I would have thought, moving all the big names, going full rebuilds, doing what Buffalo or whoever's done would, bring them what their ultimate goal is, which is to, have a whole new nucleus together. But we'll see how it all works out. I'm gonna be keeping my eye on the San Jose team, but they're not exactly, if there, with the NHL package, if there's 10 games on, and the Sharks aren't going to be one of the games I'm tuning into first, which 4 or 5 years ago, it's a different story, but a lot of changes over time. Anyway, that's our episode of the Power Play with CJ. Stay tuned for more episodes throughout the preseason. I don't know why I keep saying off season. It's been the preseason for a solid couple weeks and beyond. Later, guys.